Welcome to another episode of Car Crazy Canadians. On today's episode, we'll take a look at some of the work that's been done over the last couple weeks and go over what's on the agenda for this summer, and after all that, we'll go out for a quick drive. The first job I tackled after the spark plugs was the brakes. Both front and rear brakes were in bad shape. I replaced the rear drums and shoes and the front discs and pads. After spending a couple days learning by fire how to do brakes, I moved on to the fluids. I started with an oil change which revealed a serious lack of maintenance from previous owners. I attempted to demonstrate how thick the oil was from all the dirt. However, it proved to be so thick that both my attempts failed. First, I used a paper coffee filter and a thick piece of steel wool. After the oil failed to drain into the container, I switched to just a single coffee filter, and even that didn't work. Realizing how dirty the oil was, I decided I should probably do some sort of flush in the oil. To do this, I replaced the oil with conventional 5W30, a full bottle of synthetic Lucas oil treatment, and just a standard Fram filter. What I will do then is drop the oil again after about 1,500, 2,000 kilometers and put in full synthetic with a full synthetic filter. And for added measure, I've bought magnetic oil pan and transmission pan drain plugs, which you can see here. Once I was done the engine oil, I opted to flush the manual transmission fluid as well. When I dropped the fluid, it was in a similar condition to the engine oil. As you can see here, the old oil on the left is very much black. The new fluid on the right has a pinkish color to it. After flushing all the fluids, I moved on to an issue in the interior that was bugging me. When the car is in gear, you'll see that the shifter has quite a bit of play in it, with movement about an inch in each direction, which made it difficult to change gears properly. I ordered a new short shifter on eBay. Replacing the shifter, though, proved to be very difficult, as with the amount of rust, the bolts had rusted together, meaning I had to drill out the existing screws from under the car. This meant I got rust in places I didn't even know existed. Now we'll take a look at what bolt-ons I have planned for this summer. At the top of the list, I have front and rear upper sway bars, which are supposed to increase the body rigidity. Next, I have a Skunk 2 Pro Series Racing intake manifold, which, when you'll see when I finally figure out how to open the box, actually looks pretty cool and is considerably larger than the one that's already on the car. To go along with this, I also got the matching Skunk 2 Alpha Series 70mm throttle body, which combined with the intake manifold should allow for an increased amount of air into the engine, which should result in more power. Followed up by a stainless steel 421 headers, which flow into a 2-inch downpipe. And finally, only because I got a great deal on it, I also picked up a Skunk 2 Pro Series adjustable cam gear. Now we'll take a look at what I have for the sound system. As you can see here, I have two 12-inch Infinity Kappa subs, and on top of the box I have a MTX 4004 4-channel amp, which is supposed to run 100 watts RMS per channel. That'll be for the speakers. In the back, I have a 1300 watt Jensen 2-channel amp to power the subs, and a 1 farad Stinger capacitor to lighten the load on the alternator. For the front speakers, I have a set of Kenwoods that I got an amazing deal on from a local business, Fast Forward Audio Video. These 7-inch component speakers retail at over $300, and I got them for less than $150. I put up the owner's business card here for anyone that's interested in getting a great deal. For the rears, I plan on installing matching 6x9 Kenwood speakers. Moving on to side jobs. First here I have the inspection camera. What I'm going to do with this is take a look into the cylinder heads and see if there's any carbon buildup, and then we'll pump through a bottle of seafoam and see if it makes any difference at all. Kind of do a before and after. And also I have a set of replacement headlights here, and I'll show you why in a few moments, why they're needed. But before installing them, I bought 3 different kinds of headlight restoration kits that we're going to test to see if they work. And over here, I have bought some bright red paint, spray paint, and some acrylic enamel. We're going to paint the valve cover. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. And we have the closest matching spray paint to the color of the car, so we can give it that special redneck paint job. Moving over to the car, you can see that one of the many previous owners decided that when they broke the bolt for the headlight, it would be a good idea to tape it back together. And you can see it's left quite a sizable gap between the car and the headlight. Now, as I mentioned, here's the valve cover we'll be painting red, and we'll do the Honda lettering white. And one of the other things I did was replace the air filter, as the old one had clearly never been cleaned and was beginning to rust. Now, I did get a great deal on this one. Here's the business card. They're located in the Pacific Mall, and I think I paid less than $20 for the filter. Taking a quick look at the outside of the car, you'll notice that there's no more rust on the doors. However, the trim doesn't match up. I was able to get a great deal on these doors from Mike's Salvage and Auto Wreckers, local wreckers. I did, however, have to sacrifice power windows and power locks, but considering they didn't work to begin with, I'm kind of okay with that. And you'll look here, there's still a little bit of rust that we got to get fixed before we can safety the car. And all in all, just scratches and minor things that we need to touch up with the spray paint. And as promised, test drive.